Hey guys, it's Mandals, here to ask which Pokemon absolutely 100% deserve a Mega Evolution in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Don't worry viewer, fret not, for I am here to tell you exactly which ones deserve it. After all, I'm, kind of an authority on this kind of topic.
And bear with me when I say, what if Mega Evolving made Altaria a fairy dragon type? It already has that cutesy appearance, now it just needs the appropriate type to complement it. Give that bad boy the pixelate ability, and bam! A force to be reckoned with.
All cockiness aside, since Pokemon Sun and Moon are coming out and they're bound to have tons more Mega Evolutions, I figured, hey, why not talk about 10 more Pokemon that I think would make great contenders? There's only a zillion Pokemon that would benefit from a Mega Evolution, so I figured it'd be perfect to make this my next topic for a video. And like I said, there's a ton of potential contenders. And that being the case, I'm sorry if one of your picks didn't make this list. Basically, it's a very opinionated list, so you shouldn't hunt me down if you don't agree with it. That should go without saying now, but man, people really hate opinions. Anyways, I'm done rambling, you get the picture, roll the video.
Number 10, Audino.
Wait, what? What do you mean they already did that one? Are you sure? Okay. Really? F me.
Number 10, Octoliry. It's unfortunate that Octoliry doesn't have a Mega Evolution yet because me and this homie go way back. Back in Emerald version, when I was trying to crush the battle frontier, Octoliry was one of my main team members. You know, now that I think about it, that's probably why I was doing so badly. But I digress. Appearance-wise, I think he'd make a great addition as I can see Game Freak giving him a Kraken-like appearance. Furthermore, they could make the Pokemon Mortar or Tank themed since Remoraid and Octoliry are supposed to resemble weapons. As far as abilities are concerned, off the top of my head, Arena Trap would be cool given the mass amount of tentacles the Pokemon will probably have. Sniper is neat and it fits Octoliry's theme, but I'm not a fan of mechanics that rely on critical hits. Lastly, I can see them giving Octoliry a second type of either fire or steel to really complement the weapon theme. Octoliry has an amazing move pool, so it really sucks to see its potential squandered. Number 9, Noctowl. Noctowl is another favorite of mine, and that's probably because owls are my favorite kind of animal. If you showed up to my stream on Tuesday, you're probably well aware of that considering how much I gushed over Rowlet. That being said, you may find it weird that I would want a widely unpopular owl Pokemon to get a Mega even though we're getting another owl in Pokemon Sun and Moon. Ever since Rowlet's reveal though, my opinion has been very much unchanged. I just don't see the problem with showing love to multiple owls. That just means I'll be happier. And let's face it, Noctowl needs said love. Noctowl can be mildly defensive if played right, but I say we crank up that defense dial and make the Pokemon a true wall. Naturally, this would mean upping the Pokemon's defense stats upon Mega Evolving, but I think we can do more than that. The Fur Coat ability, though exclusive to Furfrou right now, would make Noctowl an absolute beast. I know he's got feathers, not fur, but I think it still works. Make it happen, Game Freak. Number 8, Zebs Rekha. Zebs Rekha is another pretty unpopular Pokemon, and that just really sucks, because I know that wouldn't be the case if it just had battle-ready stats. It's an electric-type zebra whose stripes resemble lightning bolts, and I don't know about you, but to me that concept is really appealing. Its speed is pretty good as is, but high physical attack rather than special attack means that the Pokemon kind of falls short. And unfortunately, I think design-wise, giving this Pokemon a Mega Evolution would result in giving it the give it more spikes treatment. As far as abilities go, I'm not exactly sure what I would give a Mega Zebs Rekha. I can see Intimidate working, as it would give the Pokemon a little bit more survivability, but honestly, one of the abilities that it comes with by default, Sap Sipper, is a pretty solid ability already. Sure, it was probably a mistake to make Zebs Rekha a physical attacker, so let's ease the pain of this by giving it a Mega Evolution. Number 7, Cacturne. Cacturne is a Pokemon that I was honestly surprised didn't get a Mega Evolution when Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire released. It's a Hoenn Pokemon, and frankly, kinda needs a Mega Evolution. This is made apparent by the Pokemon's stats, but I for one can also see room for improvement in Cacturne's art department. The best way I can describe the Pokemon is that it sort of looks unfinished. I just feel as though a lot more can be added to Cacturne. Its head looks pretty cool, but to me, from the neck down, Cacturne just looks a tad goofy and awkward. And guess what? A Mega Evolution is the perfect solution to this. In the ability department, I think Moxie, Shadow Tag, or Prankster would work. I chose Moxie since the Pokemon would benefit from an attack boost. I chose Shadow Tag because it just seemed to fit. And lastly, Prankster would be interesting as this would allow Cacturne to pull off priority Destiny Bonds, Nasty Plots, Encores, Spikes, just to name a few. To end, I'm just gonna leave this fan art right here. It looks frickin' sick. Number 6, Solrock and Lunatone. Hey look, it's the entry that everyone in the possible known universe saw coming. Seriously though, a Sun and Moon Pokemon? Where have I seen that before? If they make Pokemon games titled Sun and Moon and we don't get a Mega Lunatone and Mega Solrock, I will be really confused. Not only would it be fitting to the games, but also to the Pokemon themselves. Solrock is mediocre and Lunatone isn't much better. They can keep the Levitate ability, that's already good, but I think it'd be cool to possibly alter their types upon Mega evolving. Solrock, in my eyes, should be Fire Psychic type while mostly ditching its rocky appearance since the sun is absent of any kind of rocks anyways. This may result in it just becoming a massive fireball, but hey, that might be kinda sweet. Lunatone, I feel, should become a dark rock type as I feel those complement the moon better. Also, these changes would lower Solrock's amount of weaknesses to 4 and Lunatone's to 5 instead of the initial 6. Trust me, it's a good idea. Number 5, Masquerade. Up next is another Pokemon loved by Mandals. That's me. Naturally, you'd think that would mean that I want Masquerade to have a Mega Evolution. And guess what? You'd be right in thinking that. As cool and nostalgic as this Pokemon is to yours truly, I can't find myself loving it as a battler. I don't like that, so let's see what a Mega Evolution would bring to the table, shall we? Alright, so what kind of stats are we working with? Oh. Yeah, can we double these blocks? And although I 100% think that Masquerade needs a stat boost, the changes don't have to be that drastic since the Pokemon has Quiver Dance in its arsenal. This allows Masquerade to boost its special attack, special defense, and speed, but that's hard to do unless we boost the Pokemon's stats with a Mega Evolution. Ability-wise, I gotta go with Intimidate. I know it already has that ability, but I just can't see it any other way. Game Freak, please make these additions to Masquerade and I'll be one happy camper. Number 4, Golem. A Pokemon that once ran rampant in the Generation 1 metagame has since been reduced to a small, insignificant pebble. Its attack and defense remains good after all these years, but that's not enough when your other stats are... There's also a lot I want to do with Golem's appearance. Wouldn't it be the sickest thing ever if Golem gained some lava to its appearance? I think so, and it'd be cool that the Pokemon would then slightly resemble the molten core of the Earth. Speaking of molten core, I propose that Golem should gain a new ability called Molten Core. This would have the damage of water and ice attacks, since those moves would be partially evaporated as they impacted Golem's extremely hot lava body. Another new addition I'd make is to make the Pokemon ground fire type, as well as making Flare Blitz accessible to the Pokemon. This would mean no Stab Stone Edge, but I think Stab Flare Blitz makes up for that. Oh, and the appearance. The totally kick-ass appearance would also make up for that. Number 3, Ninetales. Now, Ninetales receiving a Mega Evolution would be a fan service done right. I'm not really the biggest fan of Game Freak handing out Megas to Pokemon that they are fully aware are popular amongst the community. Salamence, Gengar, and Gyarados are popular, but come on, did they really need Megas? Ninetales, on the other hand, is popular and wouldn't break the metagame with a Mega Evolution. In fact, aside from poor stats, Ninetales has everything it needs to become a good battler. The attacks in its move pool are good. Flamethrower, Energy Ball, and Nasty Plot are a few notable ones. I really don't think it's necessary for me to hypothesize about a new ability either. The ability Drought, which Ninetales already has, is about as good as they come. Our elegant looking friend here just needs a little boost, something to bring it into the metagame so it can wreck house just like it was always meant to. Just look at it! It's way too beautiful and elegant to not be a great battler. Number 2, Vespiquen. Vespiquen is yet another Pokemon that I'm very fond of. Can't say I'm a huge fan of the mechanic in which only female Combees can become a Vespiquen, but hey, other than that, Vespiquen is a gem. I really dig the idea that there is a Queen Bee Pokemon, but for something with the title Queen, Vespiquen is quite underwhelming. With a Mega Evolution, my first order of business would to give the Pokemon the Stance Change ability. This ability would make its attack and defense stat interchangeable with whether the Pokemon was in attack or defense mode. Defense mode activates when the Pokemon uses status moves or moves that deal no direct damage. Attack mode activates when the Pokemon unleashes hell with damage-dealing moves. This seems really fitting for Vespiquen since the Pokemon is a Queen Bee. She'll either spend her time taking hits for her hive and defending it with her life, or she'll take a more offensive approach and let loose a barrage of attacks. And again, this would all be to protect the hive. I really like this ability when given to Aegislash, and I think I'd like it just as equally with Vespiquen. Before we unveil the number 1 slot, I'd like to go over some honorable mentions. Toxicroak. While not exactly necessary, it would certainly be cool. Heliolisk. Again, not that necessary, but would add more to this debatably unfinished evolution line. Kricketune. I can see this being super beneficial to its design and stats. Flygon. Do I really need to say more? We need a Mega Flygon. Number 1! Now, this is a big entry, so hold on to your britches, kids. I want to see the Johto, Sinnoh, and Unova fully evolved starters get Mega Evolutions. This means Meganium for Alligator-type Flosion, Torterra, Empoleon, Infernape, Emboar, Samurott, and Serperior. I'm reluctant to add the Kalos starters to this entry since they're pretty new and also solid battlers as is. I'm looking at you, Greninja, you speedy frog of death, you. Also, sorry if you see this number 1 spot as a cop-out, but hey, these guys need Mega Evolutions, and I'm definitely not going to prioritize one of them over the other. The biggest reason that this is my number 1 slot is I feel as though most of the starters need Megas in order to better coexist with the starters that already have Megas. Another reason is simply that most of them need a buff. Look, Meganium, I love you, but you need some steroids or something, man. Again, sorry if this is a cop-out, but hey, 'tis my list, so if you think differently, let me know what Megas you would like. Thanks guys for watching. If you didn't know, I'm currently on Twitter and Twitch, so I'd be immensely grateful if you followed me on those platforms. I'd also love for you to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Again, many thanks, I love you all, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace!